If anybody knows me in this channel for as long as they have, they know that I've been the biggest fan of Touhou for the longest time. I think since Embodiment of Scarlet Devil released, actually, and that was back in 2002. Oh my gosh, it's actually been so long. But I found out about Embodiment of Scarlet Devil from a YouTuber I still watch to this day. And I've always been interested in, like, the old school looking games, even though they're modern games, quote unquote. But Touhou hit me in a way that kind of just made me appreciate it, in that how it became a simple bullet hell game and turned it into an under the radar franchise that the fans always did something great with it. They made fan games, they made their own custom songs, they made their own custom art styles. They modded the modern games that we play as we speak. And I've just been a big fan of it ever since. And, you know, so anything that's Touhou related, I'm just like, alright, I'm in. Let's see what happens. And that came to a head at one point in my life where I was with a bunch of friends one day and we talked about Touhou. And one friend in particular, who we're going to go by the code name Blue, he went and dabbled in Danmaku'd, which is your create your own bullet hell game, kind of not simulator, but just a create your own bullet hell kind of game, Touhou game. And it kind of speaks to us that we can make up such interesting ideas with this. At one point he made a small demo of what my cards would look like. Yes, I have spell cards for my character if it was an OC. Don't steal. But seeing it in live when he made it meant a lot more to me than I probably admit to. So I thought this would be a good idea to just show off an idea of what Kib's spell cards would look like if they were in fact Touhou based. So yeah, you're going to see a pretty old video, and it's going to be from a long time ago, but I kind of want to share this because, you know, the love of the craft. So yeah, let's see where it, let's see how much people like this one so far. So the design isn't really there. They didn't make it any kind of like character design for the sprite work, but they still make the Maku for this one. This one, Kib has always been a wind user, so I always like the idea he just plays around with the wind. So with this first one, I'm going to pause it here just to show. This first one here, he's making steps, and when he makes steps, he uses a little wind to kick his feet up in the air. And those kicks in the air are mostly just the bullets that are trying to shoot off from him. And then when he sits still, he's gathering all the bullets around him, and it's supposed to burst out like a burst of wind that just kind of goes out towards him. So that was the idea of like some of the non-spell cards that he uses if he were to use non-spell cards in his playthrough. So playing here, and we get to our first spell card, Icicle's Edge, which I'm not sure if anyone's ever going to notice it, but this was mostly a reference to Valkyrie profile spell, Icicle's Edge. Of all the cards to make into a spell card, this was the one that meant a lot to me, because Icicle's Edge just kind of makes sense to me. The idea that Kib could fire down multiple spears at once was one thing, but then if I were to transform that into a spell card, it would kind of look like this, where he would summon up all the ice shards up in the air, because he could also commit, like, I would say he could command cold and hot air, so he makes cold air cold enough to make ice shards, and then fire them down like Danmaku'd, like he's doing here. And Icicle's Edge just kind of does that in the Valkyrie profile game. It just kind of fires down 3 spears of ice just towards the enemy. So this was pretty neat. After that, we get Whirlwind Burst, which the spell card doesn't necessarily do it justice. I'm not blaming him for this because it wasn't really descriptive, I think, when I was describing it to him. But the idea was that this is the part where you're supposed to be kind of in the whirlwind sort of situation. You can kind of see that it's kind of circling around him, the blue circle. That's supposed to be like a whirlwind that's surrounded at the outside. You're supposed to be not safe on the outside. And while he's making this whirlwind, bullets were supposed to curve and go around it like it's being sucked in a tornado of sorts. So the idea is that you're stuck in a tornado and you're dodging bullets while trying to take down the boss here. Again, it didn't necessarily translate very well, but I still think this was pretty neat. As for the last one, we get to what one of the biggest ideas of what Kid's supposed to be doing. The duplication tactic, Celestial Spirit. This is more so a duplication tactic where Kid would have a clone power, and he's supposed to have a clone in front to do physical attacks. Like, he's shooting like stray bullets right now, and he's following the player, which is good. But it's supposed to be like a little moment where he chases, and then 1, 2, 3, slice. He's supposed to use a slice attack in front of the player, while the one in the back is just constantly firing down spears to try and get him while he's distracted. It's supposed to be the idea that it's supposed to be like a distraction tactic where the clone goes in for the physical strike, while the person behind him is supposed to be firing off bullets to try and get him and sneak up attack on him. It's supposed to reflect on how Kid kind of fights, and in this situation, I don't think either one's natural clone, because I think in the lore, I think I made it so that when he makes a clone, it's always himself. He doesn't like make the clone non-existent. He just kind of feels the same what the clone makes. So that's just kind of what he does. But yeah, this was just something that Blue did for the longest time. I don't know if he's still around, but if he does see this, you know, maybe he likes to see some nostalgia. So yeah, Kib and Touhou, it kind of goes together pretty well, it's safe to say. Which is to say, maybe this is about time to get back into the swing of things with a Touhou game. Which one am I going to do? Well, that might be sooner rather than later, you might find out. But yeah, we'll be looking forward to that in the near future, so yeah. As for now, I think this is all I really have for Keepsake. But who knows? We'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for watching this small series with me, and I hope to see you in the actual next series. So yeah, take care.